Traditional television series have 26 episodes. We are on session 26.
Oh God.
So somebody's gonna die. No, I'm kidding. All right. We have.
Hopefully this will be one of those seasons that like ends at the end of the season as opposed to just is all cliffhangers. Because they're not sure which actors are coming back for.
I have a series of questions that rather in lieu of doing a recap, I am having a series of questions. We will begin, I think, with Adam. Adam, tell us about someone who lives near the high school and volunteers there often. How do you know them, and why do you like or dislike them?
Oh my. So we are gonna go with.
Everyone will please recall that we are currently fighting people on the street outside of the high school.
I know.
With downed power cables and people getting knocked into houses and rear and backyards. You want to think about it? That's fine.
Yeah, give me a second to think about
Proceed with the hemming and hawing, and we will go to. I'm just going to let there be a series of hemming and hawing. Harry or Charlotte? Harry or Charlotte? Harry or Charlotte? Charlotte. Layer to token. Charlotte, this sad, fated world is nothing like the marvelous future in which you found yourself, and nothing like you imagined as a girl. Still, some things are familiar. Who have you bonded with since you became Dr. Quill's guest? Or who knows a story that can reveal something you didn't know about your nature?
Interesting.
No fair picking, Alycia.
Which one?
Yeah. I'm referring to someone here in the Sepiaverse.
So, okay.
And you feel free to proceed with your hemming and hawing. Layer. Harry. You've decided that you need to say something to someone just as soon as this fight is over. Is it your dad or A10? I'll let you think about that.
I notice you don't even say what that something is.
I thought about asking. Actually, what I thought about doing was offering Harry a point of potential for telling us what it was too. But it might be. I don't know that I'm going to make that offer. I think I'd rather be surprised. Oh. Okay. This one's for Jason.
Hello?
Yep. Are you there, Harry?
Yeah, I am now.
All right. Did you hear the question? Your question?
Since I don't want to talk to my dad particularly, I'll go with A10.
All right.
So I cannot hear Harry over my headset.
I can hear Harry over my headset.
How very bizarre. Okay.
All right. That may be a connection to Discord or something.
Yeah, we have one more on our network right now, so.
I see. Okay.
Although,
shouldn't matter. Huh? Jason, be honest. Who do you want to save the most here? You or Alycia? If it's you, take one potential, lose influence over Alycia. If it's Alycia, take one doom, take +1 forward. I'll let you think about that.
No, I don't have to think about it because I will tell you that I already have actually written down, because I've been thinking about this whole scene, not in depth, but I've already written down what my priorities in this, and so it's actually very clear. I actually don't even. So when it comes to who I want to save the most, it's Alycia.
Okay. All right. Check a doom and take +1 forward onto whatever your next roll is. I believe that's going to give you a new doom sign too. So.
Oh, good.
Doom sign yourself.
Because Right.
You only have one left before.
In the name of my Father and His Son and the Holy Doom sign.
So that's your doom sign. That should blank out your row, and it give you a doom sign.
Well, let me.
Kaylee's making faces in the back. Well, hey, his shifts are getting resolved. Yeah, I like James's question. Which Alycia? Prime, Sepia, Little Alycia, Old
We have
Alycia,
we have a new one for you too.
Dre Alycia? Who's Dre Alycia?
Dream Alycia.
Dream Alycia.
Yeah, just wait till you hear about her.
That's awesome. And
is that the one in the Princess Leia outfit?
No.
Oh, okay.
So Leo, you won't be able to see this one yet, but I will read it to you, so you can think about it on your drive. Leo, Aria and Otto both have things that they haven't told each other or you. Secrets too precious, too fragile, or perhaps too frightening. And they are, after all, very much like you, even now. So, what secret have you walled off to ensure the heart gauge, both literal and figurative, stays green? Ponder that. Okay, so we have answers. Jason wants to save Alycia more than himself. It was a lovely little thing if you looked at your character sheet, Dave, because if you take the potential for choosing yourself, you level. And if you take the doom for choosing Alycia,
nice.
you get a doom sign. And I'll point out, you need that point of potential to get the advance that lets you face your doom on your own terms. You need it. Need it.
Or maybe you'll fail at the right time. Or somebody will talk you into maybe moving past all this. Wink.
Yeah, sure. He's not totally doomed. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna get. You're like getting close though. It's gonna be down to the
Yeah,
wire. Adam, tell us about someone who lives near your high school, or I guess ex-high school, and volunteered there often. How do you know them, and why did you like or dislike them?
Oh, so I think we're gonna go with somebody who was maybe doing like volunteered like even after they graduated as like a teacher's aide sort of thing,
Okay.
possibly to make up some extracurricular credits or something like that for a good college.
Okay. So let's say librarian.
Oh, okay.
That makes it. Puts him in the school all the time. Puts him in study hall.
Yeah. Let's call him Tim, so he has a name.
All right. So this is a librarian, volunteer, assistant librarian type person. Getting extra credits for school.
Mm-hmm. And I think Adam probably liked him just because, he always made sure. Let's see, librarian.
I mean, you would have been in there quite a bit because you're like doing extra study and.
Yeah, it probably like held books aside for him when he knew that Adam needed him for whatever projects he was working on or something like that.
Right.
Or maybe he just always had something nice to say to Adam, since I imagine as the little kid in, AP classes, he probably didn't have a lot of people like in his classes who probably were like, friendly with him maybe.
Yeah, well, you got older kids, and they're not, seniors aren't going to pay that much attention to underclassmen anyway, seniors and juniors, not really. But on top of that, so he's got this weird situation where he's not one of those kids, so he doesn't have to worry about the social ramifications, but he's technically older and therefore cooler than all the other kids in the school, because he's like a year older than they are. So he can, there's a certain amount of social currency that he can bestow on you a little bit by being cool with you.
Yeah.
that he might not have even had when he was a senior because he sounds like a bit of a, book nerd. So who knows? But cool. Tim the assistant librarian who lives near here. Sounds like a nice guy. Be ashamed to put him in a coma.
Be a shame if anything happened to him.
Be ashamed if anything happened to him.
Nice librarian you got here. It'd be a shame if something happened.
Harry needs to talk to A10. Apparently, Jason and Alycia. What did you say ha about all of a sudden?
I thought I had a brilliant idea, but it turns out that I didn't have a brilliant idea.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ha! Damn it. Yeah.
I mistook dooms and plays and things like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah.
Very cool. Charlotte, this sad, fated world is nothing like the marvelous blah, 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 blah. Who have you bonded with since you became, or really since you came to the Sepiaverse? Or who knows a story that can reveal something you didn't know about your nature?
So you're gonna laugh, but I'm choosing Rusty because really
That's great.
watching Rusty's reactions to both Jason and Mr. Quill has really put a lot of things in perspective for me when it comes to Jason. There's nothing like watching someone's parent, but watching someone else watch someone's parent is even better. So I would say, Rusty and I, have kind of a wink and a knowing nod, going on now.
You both excused yourself from the room a couple of times at the same time and had some conversations, not directly, but oblique conversations about everything going on in that room.
Actually, I think they were mostly just like exhalations of breath, rolling of eyes,
offering
hands up, kind of like, huh?
Offering of tea,
shaking of hand. Yeah.
I will then, as a kind of parallel to this question, then, since Rusty was the main one and Rusty's sort of like in the center of this sort of thing, how have you found? How in general do the people in Federal City here, those who have encountered you, react to you thus far? What's been your experience with them? Are they fearful? Are they generally like, oh well, you're associated with Dr. Quill, so you're weird, but you are weird, so that's cool?
I actually think that the people in the Sepiaverse are sort of point beyond trauma, where it's that more or less theory. At this point, one more thing, one more weird thing, more or less, is not going to make a difference. And the fact that we have a ghost sitting in the White House, well, we have a ghost in the White House. That's interesting. Gosh, how's the weather look for tomorrow?
It's not the worst monster we've had in the White House. That's all I can say.
Okay, so I got a little thing for you here. While you were reading one of your books and had also gotten out of the rather thick air around Jason and Byron, you were sitting out in the lawn, kind of in the backside of the building before it comes out into the main. So a lot of that's been getting over the farming, but there's still like benches and that sort of thing. So you're sort of sitting out in the shade, reading as one does. Weirdly, I wouldn't call it idyllic, but it's close enough to that farming area along the I want to say plaza, and I know that's not right.
Mall.
Well, the mall. That it's nice to be out there. And this younger girl, we had talked about how some kids tend to be less off-put by you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this younger girl. I'm just gonna okay. Hang on. Let me grab the image. Because I might as well. There we go. Perfect. We'll just take go. And we'll put that over in the masks chat. And whoops, nope. There we go. So this little girl comes up to you. Hush you.
Wait, I'm not.
Over in the masks chat.
In the masks chat. In the roll 20. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
They
she comes
mostly
up.
come to the mall. Mostly.
Mostly at night.
Mostly.
And you suddenly realize she's just sort of standing there watching you, like kind of over in a corner, around a hedge, or actually around rows of corn. She's like watching you. And when she sees you watching, she doesn't duck back or anything. She just kind of continues to watch you. What do you do? She's looking at you very solemnly, as one does when you're her.
I thought you said when you're a ghost, but okay. Hello, child.
Are you a ghost?
Yes, I am. At least now.
Her eyes get just a little bit wider, and you can't decide if it's because you said, yes, I am a ghost, or if you just answered her without any prevarication whatsoever. Like, which thing is more surprising? The fact that, yes, I'm a ghost, or an adult just was straight with me?
Nice.
And do you see other ghosts?
Why do you ask?
Can you talk to my mommy?
Is she a ghost?
Yes, she should be.
Do you know? Have you seen her? Do you
No.
know where she is?
She should be here. She lived here, and she died here, so she should be around
What's
here
your name,
somewhere.
little girl?
Nora.
Well, Nora, let me see if I can't help you with that. I don't know. I've never tried to find somebody like that.
Okay.
Can you tell me about your mommy?
And she goes on at
Tell
some
me what
length.
you like. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna let her.
She lets you spool off for a while, you let her spool off for a time. I'm sorry to interrupt. Give me just a minute here. Kiddo's got growing pains and needs to find his kid's aspirin, and he can't find it. So give me just 1 second here. Okay, sorry. I'm heading back here. All right. So, so she spools off, but she's, 7 or 8, and her memories of her mom are from a couple years back. Not long after Quill brought everybody together, you think, where they were here. Some of the first attacks that they attracted, apparently, was when her mom passed. So her memories are that of 2 years ago and a 5 or 6-year-old. So it's very much impressions, stories that she told, things like that. But her impression of her from a holistic sense is very strong. So take from that what you will. What do you want to do? Do you want to like like try and reach out, find this person, or what do you want to do?
I think I should. I think I should try and find her.
Okay. In that case,
But I might ask somebody here first a little bit more about how she died.
well,
Or if she was buried somewhere.
Nora's very straightforward about the thing because because of the world they live in. She was shot by raiders during one of the raids. She died while she was, manning the barricades and that sort of thing. A lot of people died that day, and she can take you to where she's buried.
Oh, great.
So that's not, yeah, she goes there, Um, it's out. You have to end up walking like through the mall because it's down pat. It actually, they've sort of converted functionally the Washington Monument to like one gravestone for everybody.
Okay.
So they've got like scaffolding up the side of it. When they have to bury people, they just carve their name in the side.
Okay.
And it's up about, the scaffolding goes up a ways. You wouldn't, as a solid person, really want to trust that scaffolding as far up as it goes.
Okay.
Just FYI. But the burial is, she's out here. We're supposed to just sort of stand here and imagine that they're right near here. So you're taking from that probably maybe mass graves, but certainly might have been at that time. So, and
Okay.
for this, it would be a unleash your powers, a free.
Just take it. Sorry.
It's all right.
Dave keeps taking and giving, so.
Dave. So for this, you would do a freak roll. I can't remember if you're still walking around with a condition at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of still hopeless.
Oh yay!
What clears hopeless?
Let's go find out. Clearing hopeless is. Oh, I suppose I could actually bring everybody else over here for a second.
Fling yourself into easy relief.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that in the Sepia-verse.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. You're not really positionally in that kind of a situation. I mean, you need comfort and support, that kind of thing, but it's a little tricky. I mean, and it's going to be, but that sort of plays to the fact that, I mean, this world being what it is pretty
messed up.
Indeed it is. Oh, and hang on, I've broken my thing. So,
Okay, so freak.
Yep, give her a roll. Take it.
Take that, Brenbridge scholars.
Okay, so let's get back over to the original thing here. Where were we at? All right, I gotta get back over here. So when we do basic moves, and we are unleashing your power. So when you unleash, this how it works out. Overcome an obstacle, reshape your, and this is overcoming your obstacle. Roll freak. On a hit, you do it on 7-9. Either mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how it's unstable or temporary, which is certainly easy to explain in this particular situation.
Right.
So, given the imprint, I mean, you can lay your hand on Nora's shoulder or something like that and reach out there. Use that sort of imprint of her mom to use that as a connection. And there's so many out here. There are so many out here. But you do manage to wend your way.
Well, it's sort of like when I first came out and I had made the mistake of opening myself up and just felt
So even keeping it under control and focusing in just that area, there's just so many here that have been buried, and almost all of them under some great duress at the end. So it's it's worrying, but you're braced against it. It's just
For
that
this time.
there's so much interference that even when you get a connection there and pull her forward, kind of pull her closer to you, there's just so much clamoring and noise that it's not so much you that can't hold it for long. You don't necessarily sense that Nora's mother can.
Okay.
So Nora's asking, "Do you see her? Can you see her?" Or the the spirit is there. She sees you. You're not entirely sure she sees Nora, and you might be able to talk to her now, but they're not like your spirits that can sit around casually having, ghost tea and
Yeah. And it has to be brief.
yeah.
So I will straight to the point. And what is her mom's name?
Mommy.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I mean, you.
No, I mean
Yeah.
I'm assuming that would have been something like could have gotten beforehand from somebody, but that's okay. We'll go with mommy.
You can talk it. You can talk in context of I'm with Nora or something like that. Or you could, I mean, nothing I'm suggesting right now is anything that you would have to additionally roll for. You could like reach out to her and extend your connection strong enough for her to be able to see Nora. You might be able to do same thing for Nora the other way around and let her see her mommy for a second. But that has,
Don't want to do that.
yeah, there's potential she might also see a bunch of other people.
Yeah. So I quickly explained that I've been talking to her daughter Nora. She's okay. But she would like just to hear something from. Is there anything you'd like to say to Nora?
Be strong. This takes ages for her to say. Or
Mhm.
actually, she doesn't say it. She's mouthing it, and for all intents and purposes, you're reading her lips and her body language and that sort of thing. Be strong, be safe. And she looks around, and you figure she's probably looking for the girl's father, her husband. And longer. It's longer. Take care of your father, something like that. So
Okay.
that's about all she can. And then all the rest of them are It's almost like a
Yeah, I
scene from.
know. Open the floodgates.
Well, it's like a scene from Titanic where they're all trying to get through that one metal gate at the end of the hallway, and there's so much crowding and so on that she's just pushed away before you can really hold it for much longer. And Nora's tugging on your sleeve and is like, "Did she say anything? And she see her? Did you see? Because she heard
Yeah.
you talking."
Okay. Well,
so.
before she leaves, I say, "Rest in peace."
Okay. Good. Cool. What do you tell the little girl?
I tell her I heard her mother say, and I hold off on the end until I can figure out what she was actually saying there. Whether if there's not a father alive.
It was longer, but what you definitely got out of it was take care of your father. There was just
Yeah,
more
but I don't want to if her father's not alive.
I see. All right. And well, no, you quickly find that out because as soon as you hear those two things, then she's like, "I'm gonna go tell Daddy," and she goes running, and she's like, come on. And I guess she's not pulling on your sleeve because she can't, or was she pulling on your sleeve? Was she pulling on your sleeve for a second there? Was she pulling on your sleeve for a second there while you made contact with her mom? That'd be kind of cool.
And upon her own mental strength.
Well, in that case, she's definitely pulling on your sleeve. So she tugs you along for a hot second, and then she kind of loses the grip. Doesn't really know this because she doesn't maintain it. But she goes running along, and eventually she brings you to the dad, who is one of the guards, like in the same basic carpool as that the group of folks that escorted Jason and Summer in the first place. So the guards for the area and that sort of thing. And
Okay.
he's listening and that sort of thing. And we'll say at some point in there, while she's telling the first two things you said, you can add on, and she said to take care of your father. And which Nora immediately turns around and says, "You see, you have to listen to me because mommy said." That's immediately what she translates that into. Okay. So generally there isn't a lot of time that's passed, but at least in a couple of pockets around the settlement, there's some folks that don't completely freak out. So this story will circulate. Some people will find it very comforting. Some people will find it even freakier.
Yeah.
That's the way things work.
Yeah.
But at least Nora's dad good. All right. So, Bill, are you home?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, Leo, we had your thing.
All right. I got a twofer for you.
Oh God. Okay.
Because these characters do not normally keep secrets from each other, so this is kind of a hard sell. But
well, I'm only saying, I didn't want to make too much of an assumption, but I did. I mean, I know Arya. You and I have talked about Arya has a thing that she hasn't told Leo. That's going.
Oh yeah,
going on with her. And Otto actually has Otto actually has a smaller, but still it's important to him kind of thing that he hasn't kind of even figured out how to tell himself, let alone anybody else. So, so that's they're out there, and I figured if that's true, then it must be true for the template.
Well, kind of. So they are all independent people, but they do share this sort of root memory. So what Leo will probably never tell Arya is that, and something he did tell Otto, in fact, was that he doesn't feel that he can move forward creating new robots unless he gets some closure with her. And so there's a part of him that's like, it would have been better if we just stayed friends and not reconnected. He's not going to try to sabotage that relationship, but every mind that he produces is going to have that that feeling that he has as part of it. He's not sure how to separate himself from anything else. So he needs to figure out how to reconcile those two things to make more machines if he needs to, but also to maintain this relationship that he likes. What he thinks will work is if he can get closure with Summer and just say goodbye to her and let Jason take care of that, or see her on her way some other way, and he can take that feeling and parlay it into what he needs. So,
has he ever fully articulated that plan to himself, like that? How to fix it?
I think so. Yeah, like he went into the conference room with Jason, and he was like, "Here's what you need to do." And Arya asked him later, "It's like, hey, did you plan that?" And he's like, "No." She's like, "You totally planned that." So she has sort of figured out he's got a plan there. So that's the first of the two. The second of the two is that you know what, Otto is just like the regular everyday jock. He's a normal mainstream guy. He is what he is. He's your man on the street if your man on the street was a giant robot car. But Leo said something to Jason during that meeting. He said any normal person would fall for her immediately, and Otto doesn't feel attraction, but he loves her, and he doesn't know what to do with that.
Interesting. And that actually ties in really nicely to Otto's secret, which will come out probably during the Pony AMA. So there you go.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Thank you. I know I kind of put you on the spot there, especially Leo, because made some assumptions there, but hopefully, actually, I like all of those things. We have Adam's thing with Tim the Librarian. We have Harry. We have Charlotte. We have Jason. Okay. I don't know where to start. Should we start with? We will start in the Keynome room. And with and I'm going to dial it back a couple of seconds because I do need a moment of, not so much a moment of retcon, but yet more crap happening here. So the machinery is going, it's not deafening, but it's too loud to really easily hear what those guys are saying across the room, or far enough away. And Alycia and Chin are gesticulating, and then Alycia does, what did we settle on? The double pistol draw? as she steps over her little line of
Right.
mushy nanobots. And Chin, but as this is like, they're still kind of, you guys are getting both Ghost Girl and Jason, hand waving a certain amount of this, are getting two voices shouting at you guys over comms. Okay? And they're in some cases overlaid, but they're really kind of saying the same thing. And eventually they sort of realize that they're both shouting this to the same people and kind of shut out because they're on the same thing. It is Numina and Rusty. And what they are saying, what Numina says is, well, actually, what Rusty says is, if you guys, because it's kind of breaking in and out, if either one of you can get up here and help under attack, forces, outnumbered,
Fine.
something like that.
Okay.
Numina says, what you can get from her is, there's something with the family, or I think this is the family. I'm seeing magical, no, I'm seeing energy signals that aren't reading like tech. They just went through the front barriers like they're not there.
Right. Okay, so I will leave Jason to me.
Do you say anything? Do you?
Oh yeah.
I slap him as hard as I can. How many conditions can I give him with one hit?
No, I just look at him and I say, when you're done playing with Pretty Penny, come up and help the rest of the world.
Oh.
Wow.
Do you have influence over Jason right now?
No, I believe he took that away last time.
Doesn't he? You have to look on your sheet.
Yeah, you have to look on hers.
No,
yeah.
he took it away last time.
That's right. I grew further apart from the team.
He took away influence from me.
Oh man, that's harsh.
Well, he wasn't listening to me all day.
I'm not.
I'm kind of pissed at him.
I'm not judging.
Ridiculous.
I'm impressed. This isn't judgment. This is that. Consider that a verbal version of applause, like slow clap.
Charlotte grows a pair. Okay.
Charlotte's always had a pair. She's just been really nice about it.
It's those billowing skirts they can see all along.
I tell you what though. Let me just look at this. I'm pretty sure that I'm right about this. One moment. Jason, do her words hurt you? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hurtful, deeply. No, actually, they would hurt because Jason was already thinking about, okay, how can we do this with what's the best course here, because there's threat here, there's threat there, we're gonna have to make some difficult decisions, and she's like just completely blowing through all that. Like, what we're seeing here is trivial, and she's gonna go do the important stuff. It's like, there's a freaking Kenome and Kelly's chin, and that's leaving aside all the Alycia. Yes, it's full.
Okay. Charlotte.
Yes, dear.
You see what I'm pinging?
No.
Over on Roll20?
Oh, hang on.
Where are
Too
you?
many systems.
No.
No, I'm there. I'm not seeing anything.
You aren't?
Hang on.
What are you pinging? Because we're still on the conditions.
Yeah,
page.
I'm pinging the conditions page.
Oh. I don't see it.
Oh wait, hang on. I'm functioning on the GM info overlay. 1 second. Here we go. Is that better? Do you see it now? So, Charlotte, clear angry. Jason,
Did you get that out of your system?
Jason, take a condition.
Oh, thanks.
I didn't so much get rid of a condition as simply move it.
Deserves it.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Just
take
FYI,
angry.
I was gonna say, FYI, indignant is not a condition.
How about sputtering? Is sputtering a condition?
Okay. All right. So, Charlotte, you do you just go to Numina or Rusty? And if so, which? Because you can go there.
Yeah, no, I'll have the local situation information, and I'm assuming Numina's probably near there.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
not, I can always talk to Numina easier than I
Should I
can.
be worried that there's this kind of growing Rusty Charlotte relationship thing going on here?
You absolutely should be terrified of that. Rusty is the Jonathan Kent in this situation. This should really terrify you if he's the Martha Kent in this situation. Anyway, so you were saying you were going to go up to Numina, is that right?
No, she said Rusty.
No, I'm going to
You're
Rusty.
going to Rusty? Okay. So there are vehicles coming in, flyers. They're not they're not nearly as advanced. They look like they were the stuff the Vyortovians left behind, or somebody found an old Vyortovian military cache or camp or something somewhere that wasn't actually in Vyortovia. Because you've got like some of these flyers, they're kind of beat up, rusty or older looking things, but they're working. But more to the point is you're seeing flags flying on these things. So take the Vyortovian flyers and then cross that with Mad Max.
Got it.
But you're seeing like banners flying and some of these things, and some of these, swear to God, look a lot like the family crests and stuff like that your family was so very proud of from the old country. They talked a lot about their time in the old country and their crests and their history, and there is a lot of that symbolism and stuff up here. You're looking at some representation of the people from that either are peers to or servants of or something of the households that you're tied. You're looking at this the parts of the family that the family left behind. In addition, and there's a lot of them.
Well, which is interesting because, of course, the work on the other side, has been advancing and working towards this solution. The family left here, obviously suffering under the low
potential,
is even in their greatness degrading.
Right.
What kind of clannish? Or were they always clannish?
Well, they were feudal.
Okay.
With a D, not a T. Or possibly also a T. But so there was a lot of that sort of thing going on. And these are, I mean, a little bit of quick math. I mean, Vyortovia came over. So these are the folks who weren't in the homeland but were spread out in various places and have apparently been cobbled together or reassembled either by those left behind, by the leadership, or by somebody else taking advantage or something. But this is definitely more of the same who are attempting yet more something. They're definitely doing something here.
Okay.
So they're sort of the equivalent of the refugee Icelanders who weren't in Iceland, except that banded them together and given them weapons.
Yes, and they have a plan. Not to raise ghosts of BSG here, but they apparently have some sort of plan.
I think they have a plan.
They sure seem like they have a plan. If they don't have a plan, they got a lot of sodding guns. There's a lot of them coming, and you can't help but think of Nora's dad standing somewhere on the battlements right now. back to Halcyon High. And, well, let's get back over to Halcyon High then, actually. I don't think that was the map I was actually using, but no, that was the Corvus construction. That's still going on, and we'll leave that here for now. All right. So we had, let me see if I remember this right. Link is had just sort of floored Facet. Troll is out in the main street area. Also out in the street is Link was in the backyard, kind of in the same general area as Link, and
Wait, you said Link was in the same area as Link?
I sure hope so.
Concord is in the same basic general area as Link because he was dealing with Facet as well. And Harry is out on the street somewhere quite near Troll because Troll got sort of tripped up by some of his activities that kept him from interfering with Link leaping to help Concord. So we're going to actually, given the proximities here, we're going to start with Harry. Harry, there is a loud kind of voice over a loudspeaker kind of announcement coming from the high school, and you're hearing marching, kind of, that is sounding kind of muffled and becomes a lot less so as the doors of the school burst open. Some of the construction guys who are outside are like scrambling for crates and that kind of stuff and pulling open, doing that kind of thing. But in the meantime, he said, grabbing his file stuff. People are beeping and I can't look yet, but I will look in a second.
I was unable to hear what the message was saying.
The message hasn't been said yet.
Oh, okay.
So the message, hang on, I want to grab the thing I need first. I need Really? Oh, right. Back up here. These guys. The doors to the front of the school kind of burst open and the voice becomes a lot louder. This property is under contract and protection of Corvus Construction. Oh wow, holy crap, that's big. A lot bigger than I need it to be. All trespassers will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, up to and including castle statutes as detailed under North Carolina statutes. Anyone engaging in trespass or aggression against any Corvus employees on the property will be dealt with summarily, so on and so forth. And you've got these kind of armed bot guys coming out from the school. And it looks like the construction guys are also like breaking open crates or opening crates or something like that, but cracking open crates. They've got something going on. Who knows what that is exactly? What do you do? March. I need the animated GIF of the giant Trade Federation ships disgorging drones with rifles.
I'm sure that James can find you the Ruby equivalent for that.
That's okay. It's really okay. They're not rubies anyway. So they come and they look like the robot security that was down in the lower tunnels underneath the airport when you guys were out in the airport back in session 13. What do you do, Harry?
That was session 13. Wow.
Yeah.
Half a season ago.
Yes, half a season ago. That was the end of season cliffhanger. No, not really.
The fall hiatus.
The
winter hiatus.
Yeah, because that one ended with the beginning of the press conference, and then there was like a 2-month hiatus, and it came back to the press conference. Okay. So Harry, you've got Troll right there. You've got these guys coming out, and actually Troll says, "There we go, back up."
Interesting.
That is rather concerning.
I would agree. What do you do? How concerned are you?
Very concerned?
Actually, you hear a little crackle over your comms, and you hear A10 say, "Hey, I'm about 15 seconds out. TK is about 15 seconds behind that. When I land, who do I hit?"
Hey, you finally get to say that thing to A10 that you've been.
Yeah, do it in the middle of the fight. Do it in the middle of the fight. Do it in the middle.
Or maybe this was the thing that he meant to say.
Oh my God. Middle of a mission conversation about personal stuff. If for no other reason, watch the Judas Contract.
I was going to say, how many bonus points does Harry get for that?
I'm not doing that.
I double dog dare you, Harry.
Who do I punch?
Romantic life.
10 seconds. 9 seconds. I'm going to pick you if you don't pick somebody else.
Hit the blue guy.
Hit the blue. All right. Cool. What do you do, Harry? Do you also hit
Out
the
of the
blast radius? Or do you team up against him with A10?
Well, isn't he still kind of last session?
Isn't he still kind of what? You broke up there for a second.
Didn't I make him trip over his feet and everything?
You kept him from interfering with blah blah blah. You kept him from interfering with Link, but you didn't. It wasn't a directly engaged. You didn't take anything from him, so he is not. He was momentarily paused, but he is not in any way immobilized.
That's disappointing.
He's basically a beer belly Hulk in a hoodie.
Him from whatever incoming noise A10 is making.
Okay.
Him. Shoot.
I mean, you can certainly distract him and stuff like that, but do you want to like time it so you're? I mean, do you want to? Is she doing most of the hitting and you're just keeping him busy until he doesn't see her coming?
Let her do the hitting.
All right. You're still putting yourself in harm's way, I think. The hit that will be delivered will, within the fiction, be delivered by A10. But I'm still going to have you roll danger because you're the PC, but also because potentially you're the one that's you're the one that's at risk here, trying to keep him busy. Stand still, you little twerp.
Hey, Troll, I heard you got beat up by a little kid.
Really nice. Yeah, where is that little punk? I'm going to get him as soon as I squish you. And he brings his hands together and kind of claps. Do me a favor and roll. Oh, he rolled danger. Look at you rolling danger. And we got a 7. So, directly engage a threat. When you roll a 7 to 9, pick one. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. You don't need to create an opportunity for your allies to have A10 do the hit because A10 is doing the hit. Like A10 is your punching fist for all practical purposes in this particular move. I like how Mike's like grumble, grumble, mumble, mumble. Create an opportunity for your allies or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. I would go with resist or avoid their blows personally, since you're dodging around.
It's going to go for.
Okay, so
that blow.
Yeah, so he's dodging you, and he doesn't even see the camera. Like does the thing where it's like focused on his head, and then it focus I'm sure there's a phrase for it where it focus switches to something behind him and his head goes out of uh,
That's a focus shift.
focus shift. His head gets blurry, the background gets sharp, and there are many heroes in Halcyon City who would object to punching a villain without any warning in the back of the head. A10 is not among them. A10 is
Which you know from the training fight you guys did earlier.
Yes. Do. Okay. All right. So he gets like just drilled right in the back of the skull. He face plants right into the asphalt and kind of skids face forward, kind of into the fence, the barrier fence and stuff that's in between the street and the rest of the school. A10 goes kind of sailing by and then does sort of a big loop-de-loop kind of thing to come back around as he's doing all this stuff. You got out of the way just in time, and he kind of pushing himself up and like just shaking himself off. And two things happen at once. The bullhorn voice from out on the school property says, "Alert! Corvus construction employees have come under attack. We are invoking castle protocols.
Doctrine.
Yeah, castle doctrine for defending any and all Corvus employees. Stand down and surrender or face termination." And they're all like aiming at you guys, actually aiming at A10 as she's circling up above. And at the same time, Troll kind of goes and says, "Time to complicate things." And he leaps into the air in the direction of the residential houses across the street. Concord, what do you do?
Well, Bill, there goes all my plans. So
What? You had plans?
we were hashing out plans in the chat.
Oh my god, I didn't even look.
Maybe. It was like 12% of a plan.
Guardians of the Galaxy references, I love it.
So
Anyway,
Concord is just going to really quick check with Link as like, look at Facet, look at Troll. Which one do you got?
Facet is, surrendered. Well, she certainly gave up in the last little exchange that you guys had. Her world was well and truly rocked. So she's not.
If you're looking to Leo for guidance, he's going to be like, bubble her and get her out of here.
Okay.
Okay. What do you do?
He is going to bubble Facet, and it's just going to be like, in the general direction of head off in the general direction of Troll and the residential area.
Okay.
No, not that way. The other way. No.
Oh, okay. Away. The other way.
Oh, away from. So you're gonna bubble her and do what with her?
We need a prisoner.
I have been asked to get a prisoner, so I am getting a prisoner.
All right. I'm not really gonna make you roll for that.
How
because
about a witness?
Well, there's going to be lots of witnesses. All these nice people that are certainly not going to have any harm come to them unless Troll lands on their head.
Actually, Doyce, if you do want something going on while that's happening,
Uh-huh.
I think this is where Adam, as he's flying away and he's got like Facet with him, is just like, hey, listen, I'm really sorry about the Halt thing earlier. I don't normally do that. I was just trying it out for effect. You really could have hurt me really bad with that laser. You don't really seem to want to hurt us that bad. Is there a reason for that?
Oh my God, what are you doing? I mean, tell me what you're doing. What are you as the player attempting to do here, aside from making
Well,
her feel like a really bad person?
I picked up Empathize last time.
Oh my God, seriously?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna adult move her. Okay. So what are you? I'm a little unclear. What are you doing with her? You're gonna bubble her and do what?
Just basically flee the area, it sounds like.
Okay, you can probably. Hang on one second.
And that's when everything.
Sorry, my wife went into the, or my daughter went into the AFK channel and was panicking because she couldn't hear what was going on.
You can throw her towards the.
Yeah, you can just grab her name in the hierarchy and pull her back up.
Oh yeah, I could do it. I just went over there and double clicked on it on the other thing. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What was I gonna say? You don't necessarily need to escort her anyway. You could probably just put her in a, like, I don't know, like a locked porta potty of energy, like a locked energy construct porta potty, and just leave her there.
Well, you don't want to bring her to Agent Waters as a birthday
Well, I'm not
present?
saying don't do that also at some point, but you don't need to actually take her to Agent Waters right now, unless you want to.
Ah, Joyce, you're passing up a perfectly good opportunity where we willingly split the party.
The party is really well split right now. I don't necessarily need you guys to be split, but I can't. If you want to, that's fine. You can certainly take him to. Where would be the easiest place from where you guys are? You are at the school. Uh,
Well, we don't have to decide that right
yeah,
now.
you can just take.
But
If you want,
I'm
if you want to take,
taking her.
if you're going to take her
away.
somewhere and do empathy, then by all means. What is the I don't have the empathy thing printed out or up on the screen at all. So can you tell me what it is?
I have it in my moves.
Oh, let
So
me pull up your moves then.
when you openly empathize with someone, roll plus mundane.
Okay.
Speaking of the whole Adam just sort of talking very candidly to her was more of like, what, this whole trying to be Agent Concord thing isn't really working. It never works. So we are affirming mundane here.
Okay. All right. So are you doing the little flip thing between freak and
Yep.
mundane? Okay. Oh boy, freak down to -2. When you openly empathize with someone, roll plus mundane. On a hit, they must reveal a vulnerability or mark a condition. On 10 plus, take influence over them as well. Okay, let's see this mundane roll. Can I just comment on the fact that the 13-year-old is the first one who did the like coming into himself moment of truth, and the first one to pick up an adult move? I think that's awesome. And he gets a 10. Of course he does. Okay, so reveal a vulnerability or mark a condition and take influence over them as well.
So if you want me to repeat what I was saying, kind of like leading into all this, he was just sort of like, you really could have hurt us with that laser. You could have threw a whole lot more power behind it. I kind of see these things. Are you just trying not to hurt us, or what's going on?
She says, I'll have her reveal a vulnerability, although it's not like necessarily a power vulnerability.
No, I want her to admit that she's here on Rook's orders. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get that. That's what Leo wants, is somebody who can eventually fess up.
Yeah, I know, I get that. Trying to wait. Let's get Facet over here and take a look at her deal. Technology, the potential blush. She says she was just trying to get her. She's just trying to prove herself. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to prove this tech. I invented all of this, and I thought it was going to be enough, and then you guys floored me with a stupid energy feedback. How? I mean, I should be grounded against something like that. Of course, I never had it smash into the structure. I've been. This is my entire life. I put all my time. My thesis was on this stuff, and I just wanted to prove that it would work the way I wanted it to work. We could mainstream this everywhere, and
Oh, that sounds like some cool ideas.
right. But then you guys, I mean, you're what, like 15, 16, and a freaking flying lava lamp just kicked my ass, and then a goddamn combining transformer.
I have an alien. It's not really fair. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Well, okay. Listen, I appreciate, like, that's great and all. You seem
Alexa, stop.
you seem like a really sweet kid. I now need to name one of the villains that. Just so.
Really sweet kid.
No.
Alexa.
No, Alexa. And no, I'm kidding. Anyway, you seem like a really sweet kid. I appreciate what you're saying, but I mean, come on, we were just trying to punch each other into unconsciousness. I mean, man, I mean, you ever feel like, and she sits down inside of the bubble while you're flying her along, kind of just crisscross, and it's like, you ever feel like you just don't really even know what you're doing with yourself? Like,
Oh, believe me, every single day. I imagine there's like stray laser blasts going off at this point from the Rook bots.
yeah,
It's
and
like-
you guys are kind of, disappearing in the distance, but not so very far, like 10, maybe 10 blocks or something like that. I'm going to come back to you because there's something that you're going to see here pretty soon that might make you turn around.
Oh, I imagine so.
Link, what you doing?
I'm rocketing after Troll. I'm not going to let him get away.
Okay. He doesn't look like he's trying to get away. He looks like he's trying to do something ridiculous with regards to endangering innocents just to get people's attention. The bots, the Rossum bots, you're absolutely sure. I shouldn't even say pretty sure. You're absolutely sure the Rossum bots. They're firing at A10, who's doing a lot of aerial loop-de-loops and that sort of thing. Troll had to lever himself up to his knees to get kind of a jump. So hearing all of this kind of stuff, you can, kind of turn around and sort of intercept him again, with a jump or cables or whatever. See,
Get over here!
do you do the? Okay, are you gonna scorpion him?
Yes, I'm tearing his ass apart.
Okay, all
It's
right.
literally what his powers do.
Get over here. Not my favorite character in that video game, but certainly everybody else's favorite. Okay, so I think that's a directly engage, right? I mean, it seems like it would be. It would be. Danger.
Can I have Otto come along with me and spend team on this? Because I want that 10.
Want that 10. I mean, yeah, Otto and Numa are both part of your current.
But Numa wasn't fighting with me last time we engaged Troll. This is as much Otto's fight as mine.
Oh, that's true. That's true. There's some nice closure there too. So, okay, so as you're saying, get over here, you hear Otto kind of just give one little short chuckle and go, "Finish him!" And but what does he do that helps with the whole? Is he throwing in like the Otto-sized cables on top of that? Because the big problem that you had last time that you dealt with Troll is when you tried to cable him and yank him over, he was just too damn big, and you were just by yourself and couldn't get enough.
What happens is that Otto ejects me, I grapple him, and then Otto grabs me and drags me back. So we are overextending ourselves. We're extending faster than last time.
So you actually, like, you get really close to him and wrap him up with the cables, and then Otto pulls you back. So you're almost like, it's almost like not a grapple, like grapple hook, but literally a grapple where you're pretty close to him. And then Otto's reeling the both of you back in. You actually hear, when all the cables start to go around Troll, you actually hear him in midair kind of go, "Oh." Okay. So.
Oh, and talking is a free action. Is TK on the scene yet?
Yes. I'm going to say he's just getting there. So yeah.
All right. If we have open comms with him and or Mercury, I need both of them, and I'll tell them both, like, gather like iron filings, metal sand, anything that's conductive and that you can wrap around this guy.
Okay, I'm not like Magneto or whatever, not that I read comic books or I'm a total nerd or anything, but yeah, sure, I'll do what I can. Metal stuff, right, metal stuff. How about a car? There isn't much metal in a car. I'm working on it. All right, so you got a...
How about one of those bots over there?
Really?
No, not Autobots, the other ones, they're awesome bots.
Oh, yeah, they'll do fine. Perfect, yeah. Whatever it takes.
No, telekinesis is not suggesting wrap Otto around him, because he has a sense of self-preservation. Directly engage a threat. Pick 3 on a 10+.
3?
Oh, sorry, pick 2. I lied.
I was like, holy shit. I'm going to resist or avoid blows, and as mentioned, I'm trying to create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay, so what's the opportunity that you're looking for here? Because
so last time we basically cut off his signal to his access to Wi-Fi with distance. This time I have to drown him.
Okay, all right. That is interesting. Okay, he's taken... Okay, yeah, that totally works. All right, awesome. And if you explain any of that, I know, narratively speaking, you can never say the plan because then the plan doesn't work. But if you give TK the lowdown on what you're trying to do here, because he's Wi-Fi powered, we need to interfere with that.
I'll explain as much as he needs. Yeah.
Yeah. He quickly figures out, like, because his first thought was, you're gonna electrocute him? What are you doing?
Yeah, I imagine TK's got fine control, but I also imagine that Harry's going to be much faster. And if we need to, for example, break something down, like, Harry's going to be able to do that no problem. So whichever one of those two or both together can pull this off, like, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. So that is happening quite quickly. TK grabs something big. Harry grabs a lot of little things. And you've got him wrapped up, and he's struggling and stuff like that. But he's just like, and he's not getting any smaller. You can't hold me forever. I'm going to get out of here eventually. Kind of stuff. And you just keep piling up the stuff, and he's like, "What are you doing? Building a sandcastle? You're gonna bear me up to my neck?" And also that kind of nonsense. He doesn't really see what's happening until he starts to attenuate. This is all happening, and meanwhile, A10's like, take your time. I'm just, drawing fire up here. It's totally cool. Absolutely, totally fine.
Uncle Joyce?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Going to go with, like, whacking the bots and knocking bits off of them since
so
A10.
I love that idea. That's great. Roll.
Yeah, if Eric's going to do that, that's perfect. TK should be able to do this part on his own.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that anyway. That works for both things because you can be doing that. You're very fast and not that far away. Roll defend for me. And you're welcome. So you can subtract out people that are shooting at A10.
Really weird. I still can't hear James. And what's really weird is that a list of under masks.
You're not.
That's very odd.
You're not seeing him in the list.
No, so under mask I have Adam, Joyce, Ghost Girl, Harry, Jason, Kaylee, and Link.
Huh. That is weird.
Sorry. I see you. I can hear you now.
Just having problems with the connection-y stuff.
Okay. All right, so you rolled defend. When you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll savior, which you just did. For NPC threats, blah, blah, blah. Keep them safe and choose one. Choose one. Add team. Wait. Add team to the pool. Take influence over someone you protect or clear condition.
Take influence over A10.
I have no problem with that. I kind of feel like you already had influence over A10, but if you really want to like make sure this is super clear that you have influence over A10, then
Actually,
Ooh.
there is a move for that. If you have influence over an NPC and you would gain influence again, you'd take +1 forward against them.
nice. That sounds good to me. +1
Sounds
forward
like
to
a
A10.
great way to gather influence. Hey.
Okay, so you got a +1.
It wasn't written in my stuff.
Say that again.
Written in my list
Okay.
of people
Well,
I have it.
In that case, write down A10. That sounds good. Yeah, influence over A10. Sounds awesome. So you're basically subtracting people out of, and by this point in time, the construction guys are also firing. The bots are firing. There's a few more coming out. They don't have a ton of them that were inside the school, but there are some. And they're not just being taken out by you here. A10's doing a little bit of damage, but you realize that they're actually taking fire from above. And where are they taking fire from, Joyce? They're taking fire from I love all the stuff on the bots. I'm sorry I'm about to cover it up. One of these things
Roger.
is pulling in over top of the school.
Is that Vyortovian?
That's
Or-
not a good sound.
Who said what?
Or those Aegis helicarriers.
Those are not Aegis helicarriers.
Just a Vyortovian.
Vyortovian and Harry said sound.
Somebody said what? They're helicarriers. Jason. It's like, where are they taking fire from? Oh crap. And TK says, hey, Link, I found some more metal we can use.
Well, drag it down here then.
Okay. Jason.
Smart ass.
Now for the yeah, that's TK. That's actually TK superpower. Jason.
Yes.
So.
You'll be ridiculous.
For the record, I took bolster, which lets me take adult moves. One simple doom point.
For one simple doom
time,
point.
I used one.
For the low cost of edging that
Doom.
much closer to your inevitable and bloody death and destruction of your
All you hold dear.
consciousness.
Actually, I think I don't think it'll be bloody, more sort of drooly.
Crackly.
Your inevitable admission into a hospice. Jeez.
Why do I have a vision of, remember
A super's
what's his
hospice.
name, the child of Morgan,
Oh, Modric.
everyone gets banished except for the kids, and then in the end he has eternal life but not eternal youth.
Poor
Yes.
Mordred.
Poor Mordred. Okay, I need to go all the way down to. I won't go far enough. 1 second. Good grief! I have too many potential screens here. Well, that's still not it. Where did I put the? Where did I
Kino
put?
mode.
Honey, where'd I put my super suit?
Where did I put the Kino? I don't know. I don't know where I put
Honey,
the.
where did I put my Kino?
It was very blue.
Why
Yeah, it
do you
was
want
super blue.
to know?
Is it on the Gale household? No.
There's a Kino at the Gale
No,
house? That
I
explains
just, like,
so much.
No, I dropped it on some random screen and I don't know
Oh,
where
I
I put
left the
it.
Kino back in my other pocket.
No, that's not it. You know what? I'll
Maybe
stay on
someone,
this
someone
one.
borrowed the Kino. Okay.
It's not the right background picture, but it is the right foreground picture, which is to say Alycia. All right. So
That's creep, Alycia.
that's still how she looks. Except with guns. All right, so she's there with the gun. She's got this look on her face. She has a little bit of nanobot activity on her self, on her person. Chin is behind her, gun on the thing, gun on her, and he pulls the trigger, parentheses S, question mark, end parentheses. What do you do?
Do I have any sort of connection still with the nanobots that she is using?
Very probably. Yes. You may even have a connection to the bots that are on the floor, assuming they're not completely fried.
That may come in useful. Okay, so I'm going to try to establish connection with those bots. Depending on, I mean, a lot of this depends on what seems like timing. My most urgent thing I want to do is, since I don't know whether what their current default programming may be, whether she's just using them for whatever she's using them for, I want to make sure that they protect her from the gunfire.
So here's a thing that you've long suspected about your bots and you've never really wanted to. You haven't actually figured out how to test it, because there really isn't any way to test it without either like getting Leo to punch you unexpectedly, or literally turn one of your AIs into a kill bot like Kato from the Pink Panther movies.
And you know that even Jason is not that ridiculous.
So
by now he's always expecting Leo to punch him, so like it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Have it be unexpected is really not unexpected. There's a possibility, a non-zero possibility, that if you are completely unaware of an incoming attack, the bots won't do anything.
Yeah.
So even if they are set to defend, they may not do anything if she's got a Achilles-shaped blind spot. If she has an Achilles heel, it just occurred to me. It's not my fault. Anyway.
So in that case, the fact that I can see the threat, if I can get in contact with the bots, I should be able to trigger them to protect her. Her bots, if need be.
In theory, yes.
Preferably.
Complication.
I would rather do that than try to get my bots from here to there.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, and I am obliged underneath the conventions of the game to note that I am facing danger alone.
Yes. So take a point of doom.
Take a point of doom.
Take a point of doom.
Didn't Charlotte drag you down here?
Yeah, but Charlotte's not there anymore.
Yeah, Charlotte left me alone, facing danger. Doom.
In her defense, she deserved it.
See, this is just Mike trying to get invited back to the next game day and get lots of cool snacks. That's, Just play up to the
I mean-
person who's really like in charge of the snacks.
That's not all of my plan.
Okay. All right. So, complication. Alycia doesn't know what's going on with all of that. So you can roll to defend, but she's going to see you just using your powers and probably shoot you. Because she doesn't know that that's what you're doing.
Well, hopefully my nanobots will note that she's trying to shoot me. If there's any extra cycle in this whole thing, not knowing how much of a super slow motion compressed time effect we get in this whole technological handshaking and activity.
If you want,
I want to see if I can communicate with her as well.
If you want all of that, you know what you need to do.
Check off another doom box.
No. You know what you need. This is. I mean.
Oh, moment of truth.
Yeah, that's all.
Man, I was hoping to save that for the follow-up action.
This is Lena Inverse at the restaurant. I want all of column A and everything from column B and 2 of everything from column
Make a
C.
slave.
I would like all of those things. What do you mean follow-up action? The thing just works for it's not for an action, it's for the scene.
Oh, it's for the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
You can just Akira the shit out of this. Now, full disclosure, when this is done, you don't check a Doom box, you check a Doom sign.
Oh. That'll be my last non-doomy Doom sign. Do any Doom checks that I already have at that point get subsumed into that, or do they roll over into the next the final Doom track?
The Doom they roll into the final.
I guess
Doom
they
track.
roll over because you're right. I'm not adding
But wouldn't
additional
you
Doom
say
checks.
like all of yesterday he was working to resolve?
Oh no, that's not the issue. Everything that he picked up a Doom for picking Alycia as the person he wants to save. That rolled him over to picking up a Doom sign. He just picked up one more, but that was because he's facing enemies alone. Again, he's facing a powerful enemy all by himself. That gives him a checkbox. Now he's effectively getting 5 checkboxes in one thing if he does his moment of truth. It doesn't happen until after he does his moment of truth, though. So.
So this is the. I could plop over dead when this is all done, but by God, I get that big final dramatic scene.
Yes. Although you're not quite close enough to plop over dead when all this is said and done.
Right. Unless I do something else stupid, I should have four whole Doom checks.
I was going to say technically 4 more stupid things, which honestly, I mean, not probably in one session, but you better solve it soon.
Well, I'm going to say at the very least, I don't have to worry this episode about. Was I in pursuit of my nemesis this time?
Yes, you're absolutely.
Assuming that Alycia really is my nemesis.
Yeah.
Which has also been some things I've been speculating about.
There's
anyway.
4. I think there's 4 strong candidates. So the biggest problem with Jason's nemesis is he doesn't know who his nemesis is to actually face. Are you it?
But for purposes of the Doom checks, it's been Alycia.
That's
so
true.
okay.
Yes.
So I am
just going full.
Yes,
full
I will.
boil.
I will declare moment of truth. The prickly tingling of your doom, always in your head. It holds you back most of the time, but right here, right now, it gives you the confidence to do anything. After all, what's the worst that could happen? Is it worse than your doom? Do impossible things. Do anything, but mark a doom sign after you're finished. So.
Yes. I was rereading that this week, and when I read the mark a doom sign thing, my eyes. Bugged.
Yeah, I had those last 4 letters underlined. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a laundry list of things you would like to accomplish. I would like to know which of your various internal bot constructs and or yourself does those various things. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, who is which are you the one defending Alycia from the incoming bullet, or is it little Alycia building a little sandcastle out of bots? And
oh God,
that's all
more
of you,
pathological than I was expecting, but yeah,
Well-
okay, I can. No, that makes perfect sense.
it's your biggest problem with your doom is pushing yourself into these bots and having it being
Right.
manifested and not coming back. This is a massive manifestation, so grab them all and tell me what they all
Gotta
do.
catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Catching is
Okay.
the problem.
Pokemon.
Staying in charge of them is the problem.
Yeah. So
It's like a Pokemon
We'll
game if I
s-
was running it with Sorcerer. Anyway,
we will start out with I think we need one of the Alycias, kind of the form of one of the Alycias, using Alicia's bots to block Achilles' gunshots,
okay.
and we'll have this figure doing it with kind of a Wonder Woman style bullets and bracelets kind of thing.
So it's actually, I mean, those of you who can't, anybody looking at this later who can't see Alycia is actually seeing the bots kind of, the little pile of bots on the ground, plus the ones on his shirt sort of rising up and doing all this kind of blurring, blocking thing. Okay. So that's one thing. What else? Because Alicia's also shooting at you.
Right.
It
Or
doesn't
she's-
do any good to
or-
rescue the girl
or
if you just end up killing yourself.
Oh, on the contrary, have you seen literally every movie ever made in Japan? Um, anyway, but actually, what I should say is she's about to shoot you. You have the means to kind of stop that before she pulls the trigger, because her bots are on you, and you talk psychic link and stuff like that. So if you want to
Yep.
establish some sort of bio link, you can certainly do that at this time.
Yes, I would like to do that at this time.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yup. Okay.
She's
So
never going to forgive you that.
the thing, well, to be fair, he is owed a little bit of mental fraggery compared to what she's been, what she's done to him in the past. Some of this.
That doesn't mean that she's going to forgive him.
All right. So her eyes, her eyes sort of widen like oh no, because she sees you're about to do something. And then they sort of narrow, and her fingers start to tighten, and then the link is established, and everything kind of slows down around you guys. We're gonna have little Alycia when she pops up in like, oh, I got, somebody find the picture of the adorable little girl in the Wonder Woman costume, but that's totally what I can't think of the one. She has these most amazing braids, but anyway. So she pops up and like the little Wonder Woman thing is doing that, and that's happening like even in slow motion. You can tell Alycia feels this connection established. Part of it's from the bots like sort of touching the back of her neck or something like that. And the first thing before she even has a chance to think about it, before she can stop herself, is, "Hello, hero." Which is the thing she always used to say every single time. And you'd forgotten.
Oh.
After that first, even when you were 10, and she's kind of rolling her eyes at that sort of thing. Every single time after that, well, maybe not every single time, but it evolved, and there's 5 years of history of her saying it when you get the drop on her saying it when she gets the drop on you, her saying it when you guys both wake up tied to the same pillar. Hello, hero.
Man, this will be a horrible time for me to lose all my concentration.
I have a question for you, Dave. Be honest.
Yes.
They hate these questions when I start them with be honest. Do you think that would make you take a powerful blow?
Oh yes, thank you. That's I was trying to.
How do I quantify this? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
exactly.
quantify this?
Yeah, I'll take a powerful blow from that.
I can't remember from you have a +1 forward on this, incidentally.
I do have +1 forward, yes.
So take a powerful blow is just rolling conditions, which you have one of right now. Say thank you. Say thank you to Margie. But
Thank
you
you, Margie.
you get a +1 conditional bonus to the Wait, do you want a +1? You want a -1. Kind of, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So give yourself a -1
Yes.
because the conditions give you a
It's the
+1.
mean roll.
It's the mean
Right.
roll.
It's the mean roll.
Oh. Oh my stars and garters.
Oh, it didn't take my modifier. That's interesting.
Well, it took your modifier, but you zeroed out your modifier. There was a +1 for
Oh,
your
right.
condition and -1 for your other thing. Your dice were just set to screw you no matter what. So part of what's happening here, you keep in mind, you still get your moment of truth. That's going to happen.
Right.
But you're getting a flash of like every moment this has ever happened and everything you ever felt when that happened, whether it was annoyance or amusement or frustration or something else. Take a powerful blow. On a 10+, choose one. Oh, lose control of yourself with powers in a terrible way. Come on. Do it.
Well, I'm certainly not going to flee or pass out at this point. For fuck's sake.
Language, Jason.
No.
Oh, Jason.
Oh, Jason. And you actually see her own eyes widen when it pops out because at some level she had forgotten about it too. She hasn't forgotten as much as you, not nearly, but that wasn't there. So there's a lot of shock of recognition there also.
So I'm looking. So it's either I'm going to lose control of myself or my powers in a terrible way,
Or take two of the.
Well, I can take 2 from the 7 and 9.
Right.
Do I have influence over her?
Yes.
You should now.
You didn't have him. You had it to lose because you could have lost it if you picked yourself. So yes, you have influence over her. I
could inflict a condition on her and mark 2 conditions on myself.
If you were so inclined, yes.
Yeah.
Oh come on, lose control of your power. You're in the middle of a moment of truth. What better time to lose control of your powers in a terrible way? This is when you mind. Yeah. This is when you mind blast Calderon. I'm kidding, but not exactly unlike that.
Yeah, I if I'm gonna play the big drama, I'm gonna play the big drama big. So I will lose control of my powers. Hey, the whole Steepyverse thing started with a losing control of powers in a terrible way, right, Harry?
Yes, it did. It was Harry losing control of his powers in a terrible way. All right.
Maybe we'll destroy the Steepyverse in that very fashion.
Oh no. That wouldn't be nearly personal enough. Okay.
But you're in the Sepia-verse.
You say that
would be pretty personal.
You say that like it's gonna stop him. I don't even know if that would make him notice. All right. So you are experiencing. Okay. So first of all, because it's happening in an eye blink and because we can't role play for the next hour and a half of this conversation, what exchange do you guys currently have right now that keeps her, in summary, that keeps her from pulling the triggers? Because you're not locking her mind down. You wouldn't do that.
Right. No, that was not my intent.
No, of course. It was to communicate everything that's happening. Your dad's shooting you. He's going to shoot the whatchamajigger behind you. Actually, it looks like he's shooting, and I will tell you this right now because you're in full on like second gen hyper genius mode. He's shooting the fuse for the turbines. He's not even shooting like the main thing. He's trying to shut off all the power supply for the apparatus that surrounds the thing, so that whatever is running off of this thing up top drops.
So he's actually the distraction for the Vyortovian assault that's coming in upstairs.
God. Well,
Or
that's still, or it would potentially, if this is what's being used to create potential for this area, that could be part of it. But it still feels very, almost mundane for Achilles' Chin. But he has been here in the CP-verse for a while.
It does feel awfully mundane. All right, so.
So there's.
Tell me what's going on with you and Alycia. What's and we can do a little bit of.
Well, there's.
Ooh.
Wow, chicka chicka bow wow.
An infinity of mentally replaying the entire Antarctic thing over and over and over again.
So cold. I am so sorry for everything that I forgot.
And in this process, she gets some inkling as to what that is, and can do the math on what that would mean and how those pieces fall together. And she knows you're telling the truth because of the link that you guys have right now. And because of what you're able to kind of piece together, what you've just said, you can see her doing the math also on what her dad may have done. It wasn't. I mean, she didn't have like bots ongoing messing with things and malfunctioning, but there was definitely something that he did that put a block up for some stuff. Not an excising the way that you had to deal with, but a block. You can sense she keeps checking again, like your memories against her, like her memories, or honestly,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit like River and the Doctor going over the Blue Book and going, do you remember the fish man, and do that kind of stuff, but just at hyperspeed.
Right.
With those comparisons. And she gets it. She's not gonna shoot. There's a lot more to sort out there, but she's not gonna shoot. And the other stuff that you would have gotten is that she wanted him to just leave. She did not know that if they touch, they explode. She did not know that if he goes home, there's a potential for like some sort of chain reaction collapse thing, and couldn't figure out why he wouldn't just leave because she has the means to go home, and she probably has just enough left in the tank to get them home. But he's being really damnably obstinate about, no, that's not what we're doing. Not yet. Just keep him off me while I take care of things and handle this kind of stuff. But her whole thing up to this point in time has been get here and get Dad home.
Right.
Because of all the letters and everything like that.
He just tried to shoot you.
And she, doesn't actually physically turn around, obviously, but she mentally does and sees the bullet. And she's like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would he? She's just at a loss. Nothing, everything that he's been talking about here is just blowing stuff. It's like every stupid conversation that we've ever had with them, where they're just doing the same simple, stupid thing over and over and over again. They're just doing it here now instead of.
You mean like they're a shadow of themselves?
Or they. I mean, there's a great. Okay. And there's a
I'm
lot
gonna,
of
I'm gonna say one word. I'm gonna pack a lot of meaning behind it, meaning and imagery and thought behind it. Hecate. So all of the she's been fucking around with things. I think she may have been doing something to affect Byron here. I know that she did some stuff to affect me.
They haven't been doing that for the last 20 years, though. This is just them turned up to 11 all the time. And there's a lot. I mean, obviously, I don't need to tell you, but my assumption is there's a lot of anger here.
Oh yeah.
Not just from her, but from you, really, with all this stuff. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of frustration, that sort of thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so
actually, a stray thought will run across Jason's brain. Well, let's see. 20 years, actually 17 years would be when Hecate took a real mad-on towards Byron, or 16 years, or so 18 years, 18 years.
But Achilles was never really on her radar. It's always been
True.
Byron.
Right.
And you just see this, like, there is this great, the way she's expressing it is really accurate. They're only really exploring a couple of very simple channels here, but it's really just this. I mean, they had all the potential they could have possibly had in their home world, and they still just did the same. It was all just like that conversation in the Sahara over and over and over again with slightly different nouns. Just time and time again. You guys were the only ones that ever had different conversations that actually changed.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of truth in what she says.
I think they need to answer for this. And something very Alycia-like, and this is the losing control of your powers terribly. Something very Alycia-like within your bot's answers, whether that's Alycia or hacking, or really just part of Jason that really, really agrees with a little bit of biblical comeuppance. Very strongly agrees with her. And a ring, who is it? The older Alycia. Ooh, can Alycia see all the Alycias right now? I think she can. Can she see all the Alycias right now?
Oh God, how embarrassing! Yes, I'm sure she can. They're mentally linked to me. I'm mentally linked to her.
Okay, so the older
they're all part of the extended bot network. So
the older Alycia walks out of a shadow from the side of the room and kind of
Alycia. Yeah.
Alycia. Yeah. She walks out of a shadow from the side of the room and kind of winks and finger guns at Alycia for a second with a little tongue click. And then she kind of reaches up and does this circular motion up in the air and creates like a what would that be? Horizontal? Yeah, horizontal portal. About twice the size of a basketball hoop, out of which falls Byron Quill, right next to Achilles. And like then, and by the time he hits the ground, Alycia is kind of there and grabs them both by the collar and kind of holds them up, dangling in front of the two of you.
The two of them?
Holds the two of them up in front of you and Alycia. And Alycia says, okay, time for some apologies. Or punishment. Ghost
Hi, Dad.
Who's like kind of clutching at his neck and everything like that. Ghost Girl. So I showed you the carriers, picture those kind of rusted metal things, but a lot smaller and
Okay.
a lot more of them.
Okay.
That's kind of what's slowly.
Sort of like, have you ever seen the mothballed naval fleet
Yes.
outside of Oakland?
Yeah, like that, but
Like-
aerial.
Right.
I like the little drawing here. We're back. You can have more graffiti.
Okay.
But and they're coming in really low. You get the distinct impression they probably couldn't come in very high. But they're coming in low, but they're coming in fast. And as they're getting pretty close, everyone's like, this, and it, nobody at the barricades and stuff is really doing anything. And then they hit what looks like probably some sort of barrier or something that's up, and they kind of everyone's just kind of holding their breath, and when they pass through it, there's like these cries of disbelief and astonishment from which you can gather. Actually, Rusty pretty much tells you, all right, that should have electrocuted them all, or stopped them, or bounced them, or I've seen it do a lot of different things. It kind of depends every time, but that should have done something, and it didn't do anything. And he only says about half of that before he starts shouting orders, ready arms, all this other kind of stuff. Newman is right there looking at you. What do we do? I mean,
Well,
that's
obviously. God, they look awful. Obviously, we.
Were you looking at the Ghost Fleet?
No,
What looks awful? I didn't know what you were talking about.
no, I was just looking at the picture you had of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to take much to bring these stupid guys down.
Well, the problem. Oh, yeah.
She says with a positive spin on her face.
Well, yeah, except for all the people on them. But yeah, I mean that's. But I mean, okay. What do you want to? What do you want to do?
Okay. So I look at Byron and I say, "What's the most important
Rusty,
target?"
Yes.
Rusty, excuse me.
Well, let me think about this for just a
How
second.
do I and is there a quick way to disable these things up close and personal? And I'm hovering at this point, just so in case he forgot I can fly.
Well, the problem isn't those things. I mean, they're not really dangerous. I don't even think the things are armed. The problem is all the people on them. I mean, they outnumber us.
In
Like,
the ocean?
What's that?
I really don't care what happens to people in the Seabiverse. Can we dump them in the ocean?
Well, okay. This is a picture of what they look like, but they're not really over the ocean. They're coming in like at basically DC, so they're coming in over. I mean, maybe coming in. They're coming in over the water or something like that. I'm not. Maybe, but I think they're just coming in towards the edge of the city, which may or may not be. I don't immediately have a landscape map of DC to hand, but that kind of thing. I mean, you can. There's a couple different options. You can try to mess with the machinery. You can mess with the people. You have probably some connection to these people. Not emotionally speaking, but you probably have some symbolic link, which is really the only kind of thing that your powers would need to do something to them.
I have an idea.
You have 5 potential that you haven't spent, and the ability to buy a moment of truth.
You're just like jonesing for a moment of truth now.
If I can get 3 moments of truth out in one session, I would consider myself the king of infinite space. It's not going to happen, but it would be pretty funny. But
I'm going to tell you the really bad the power that I'm toying with, given my recent playing around.
Okay, you tell me, and then I'll tell you, because I have just like a few short words to summarize.
Okay. Technopathy.
You've already been messing with tech, so that totally works.
You have something better. Okay.
No, I'm not.
You've learned just enough about tech to become extremely dangerous around it.
Yeah, like break it. You've learned how to break tech really, really well, and luckily there's a bunch of tech here that you need to break. Hang on. Let me see if I can find a real quick page. Why waste time on words? There we go. I already did a search for this at some point in time. There we go. That'll work. Control C. This will be in the masks. Roll20 chat. Just making sure that's clear. There we go.
Oh, right. We talked about that yesterday.
Like a week ago. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's right. You were the one.
Yeah, a week ago.
You were the one that I sent the. Yeah, I was gonna say you were the one I sent the image to. So you could totally.
Yeah.
You could totally.
Well, that is so appropriate. I'm on my was home turf.
You have already called up the ghosts.
Facing your enemy.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I forgot about that.
Mass grave.
Oh, shit.
Washington Memorial. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I like this better and better now.
That's Mike. Thank you. I would have completely forgotten about that. That was not what I had done with that. Why I had done that, but damn.
Okay, now we have to.
All right.
Okay.
And Rusty's like going through this whole thing. It's like, well, the engines are combustion. And I don't know how the anagrav. We haven't. I mean, Byron be able to explain the anagrav. Where is Byron? I can't even find him anywhere. He's not responding to comms. Blah blah blah. And you're like, you know what? Never
Screw
mind.
this. You embrace your home and call them for aid.
Oh Jesus.
They will answer your call in force, arriving exactly when you need them to turn the tide. They fight and serve you for the rest of the battle. Of course, when all is said and done, they'll probably like to take you home with them.
So,
for all, just prove yourself worthy.
So, here's the thing. I know it was originally written for like Alien calling in the Alien Armada thing, but sweet criminy, is that not exactly written like?
I was going to make that same comment when you started talking.
I mean, it's basically a description of the Pelennor Fields. It's crazy.
Well, and actually, this one's not as good as the one where you see them actually coming off the ships and in battle because,
Yeah, I know.
Seeing the hulks in the air here, I can just see them.
But yeah, swarming out of the mall and basically through all of these forces here and all this other kind of stuff.
I think they might have a little bit of a hard on for the Vyortovians.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of mad on there.
Okay, so
Damn.
Check the appropriate
Perfectly.
check. Now there's something. I think there's something. You're right, Mike. Thank you. The thing with the
Washington Monument.
And I can't remember. Moment of Truth. And Dave, if you have a minute, because you're going to be looking up the same thing too, because aside from the description of the moment of truth, there's some other stuff that using the moment of truth does. Because afterwards,
you lock one of the stats.
Oh wait, yeah.
You permanently lock one label.
Okay, so you pick a label, it locks, and you raise one. Do you get a raise too? Or
Nope.
You just lock one.
Nope.
Okay.
You just lock one.
So when this all is said and done, Margie, there's a checkbox on the character sheet where you say this one cannot move up or down anymore. Done.
Okay.
Whatever and if anybody tries to shift and it's the label that you have locked, then none of the shift happens. You just ignore it.
Okay. I think I need to lock Savior.
Okay. All right. So that's what happens there, and I will narrate that in just a minute. Now, because we got about 20 minutes here. All right. Link. I think. No.
Yeah. No.
I think Link would be the one. No, wait. Concord. Sorry. You're flying away and still talking with Facet. And you're kind of glancing back and she's like, oh, shit. Uh, do uh, I mean, I don't want to tell you your business or anything, but do you need to get that?
Uh,
Because
I, I think Concord just sort of spins around, looks up, is like, wait, so those aren't with you?
no, that's not us. That's not Aegis. I don't know what those are.
But their field of fire seems to be all over the schoolyard.
Yeah, there's there's some shooting coming down, and you think maybe you're seeing some belaying like jetpack or something things coming down off of it as well. What do you do? You might not make it home by 8, even though it's an emergency and you get an extra hour.
I think if the city is in danger, I think I get a pass. I hope I get a pass.
If you save librarian Tim,
Yeah,
Well, Dad at least won't be there waiting for you.
Technically, Link just saved Librarian Tim, but take what you can get. Um, I mean, there's probably a tall building on here that you could sort of hang her from, like a Christmas ornament, if you wanted to.
Oh, actually, I have a really good one for you. 'cause
Okay.
You'll probably like this.
I like everything all of you guys do. Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh. So he's got him. He's got Facet in the bubble right now,
Mhm.
and it's like, look, we're having this really nice talk. I really need to go get that. This really shouldn't hurt, and you probably won't notice it. So bye. And he's just gonna put his hand on the bubble. And you know
And-
Steven Universe and the gyms?
Oh my God, you're gonna bubble her?
Uh-huh. So I am going to take the. I'm going to use my a mind of their own power move. Yeah. Because I don't think his powers would be able to deal with that. So I'm just going to mark a condition. I'm going to feel really bad about this, so I'm going to mark guilty.
What's a mind of their own?
It's your powers evolve and mutate.
Oh,
when
right.
When facing an obstacle that your powers may not be able to deal with, you can mark a condition to gain brand new abilities adapt to the situation.
Okay, so you put her in some kind of genie bottle, basically.
Yeah. I imagine Saul is just like, oh no, the imprisonment module is perfectly
cosmic
safe.
timeout.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not shock that you're getting off of Saul. What you take guilty? Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking guilty because I feel bad about like putting her in timeout.
There's actually a moment of like aborted protest from Saul because you're like accessing several menu, like you're accessing a menu you shouldn't even be able to see yet. And he's like, dude, but never mind, it worked fine. I know.
And it's like, this has literally been on the entire time. Is this another thing that should have been turned off? We have like 8 of these things already.
So yeah.
First, I'm not supposed to be able to empathize with people, and now I can't.
Why do you
that.
always start with kill mode?
Well, yeah, this is somewhere between like you access something on the menu and it didn't turn into that sheep from the first experiment in Ant-Man, which is what Soul was half expecting. So yeah, you just put it in the genie in the bottle. My daughter, incidentally, huge fan of Steven Universe, is in the other room going. I walk in and I go, "Did you?" And she's like, "I know." And yeah. Anyway. All right, so you bubble her, and then what do you proceed to do?
We are going to blip over to Link.
You're gonna blip over. Now, do you take her? Do you like put her in a pocket? What do you do?
It's sort of like an extra dimensional space.
I'm gonna say it this way because this is about the weirdest way I could possibly say it. You hand her to Saul. Somehow.
I'm sure that makes sense metaphysically.
Physically, a little shaky on that side of things, but in some way, shape, or form, you hand her bubble to Saul.
All right.
So, yeah, we're about ready for you to turn back into a Nova. Anyway,
I'm 2 advances, or I'm 2 potential away from that.
2 potential away from that. And because your powers have officially gotten back into, oh yeah, this is actually pretty scary.
They've gotten back into the ridiculous levels, I know.
All right, Link, you are standing over a ever shrinking troll as TK is like piling stuff on, and actually about halfway through that, 3/4 of the way through that, he assures you that you can pull the cables back out of there because he's got this. He's got him so packed in with this stuff that there's no way he's getting out. And
Link is going to look up at the sky, and then back at TK is like, "Oh, you got this, good."
I tell you what, that's actually really good. No, you pull the cables out. I got it. Oh, I'm glad you've got this. Well, I didn't want to, interfere with your fun time. Do you want a boost up there? Anything? No? Go get him, Tom.
What the fuck am I going to do up there?
Okay. So right about then, Concord, you pop back in, and you hear like the last 2/3 of that, like gesturing and like.
Oh crap! You don't have a plan?
The Vyortovians are jet booting, dropping down. It's sort of a mix of an abseil like rope drop and just slowing down with like some sort of jet boot thing right at the end. It's like just at the last second.
Starship Trooper
Sure.
armor landing.
Just a last little. Well, no, they're in normal. Somebody's breathing. They're in like normal armor, but they're like they're sliding down, but they're not really doing. They're doing a semi-controlled fall, and then they're just using the jet boots to slow down at the last minute. But they're firing as they go. There's cover fire there. The Corvus construction forces are
Hopefully shifting targets.
well, they're definitely shifting targets, but they're also pretty badly outnumbered. Not least because the speedster has been subtracting them from the field for the last,
Oh crap!
30 seconds or so.
Concord, tell me again what's here.
I'm sorry, say that?
What's here? What's in this place?
Oh, the Kino.
The cube.
How deep?
Probably.
Joyce, you're going to have to answer that one.
Well, you could too. I would.
I
happy
know,
with
but I'm
whatever,
just
but
saying I don't know the answer, but I'm sure
probably-
Concord knows.
Probably 100 meters, maybe a little bit more, but like below any normal city construction by a good solid 50 meters, like below the sewers, storm sewers, any of that nonsense. So probably a good 100 meters.
Yeah.
Give or take.
About 400 feet down.
Okay, last question. Is anybody alive in there?
That's a really tough question to answer.
It's really hard. The thing is interfering with this.
Also, it might also technically qualify.
Yeah.
If
Maybe
you're saying alive in the school,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's people in the school. Corvus security, like whoever's in charge, probably inside the building. Actually, Concord, there's probably whoever's in there is trying to figure out how to get down. They have not figured that out yet.
Okay.
So they're in like sub basements and stuff like that, but they haven't figured out how to get where they need to get.
So we're talking like 15
Yeah,
actual people?
15, 20, something like that, aside from the bot. And there's, probably a couple bots they've kept for security. It's weirdly similar to the way that not exactly, but it's weirdly reminiscent of the clear the building exercise you guys were doing earlier today. Like, there's bodies and other things that you can sort of detect less easily that are the mechanical things and stuff like that. What you thinking, Leo?
Well, if there's anybody living inside there, number 3 moment of truth is offline, so I got to think of something else.
Well, I mean, that's just the school. I mean, that doesn't deal with. I mean, so what you've got right now are Vyortovians landing. You've got bots on the ground. You've got some human construction people that are probably just as well trained, the reasonably well trained security folks. They're on the ground. And then you've got whoever's inside the building. So, but there are a lot of Vyortovians coming down. A10's like, I'm good with what actually, she kind of pulls up above you guys and sort of pauses just to kind of take stock of everything. So you guys actually, you got this moment of like the comic book, like double, half a page shot of a pile of trash that's vaguely troll shaped. TK, Armiger, Alloy just actually no, they would have been brought up with TK. But like A10 kind of pulling in above with sort of that ghost of the wings and stuff around her. Harry zooming up, and you guys all kind of looking at that
So,
thing.
Joyce, is this time-wise? Is this the same time?
Mm-hmm.
This is all a
Coordinated.
simultaneous attack. Okay.
Yes. Yes. It all seems to have been coordinated.
Heh. 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 Heh.
All right, so
Things
well,
are-
actually,
So it's all one battle.
Go ahead, Leo.
one more question for Concord. What stops you from getting the Kingdom out now?
That's a good question.
I mean, you don't honestly know what would happen if you moved it, but you could certainly at least try to figure it out.
And yeah, that's probably that really worried look at Leo's face. It's like, I could try.
Not the most reassuring way you probably could have said it, but sure, I can.
All right, if you can do it without alerting anybody, even better. If you can't do it, figure it out. I'm going to go keep this guys busy.
Ooh, I like it. All right, so I'm gonna back up here one more. So Concord, are you gonna go at least investigate this thing and see what kind of situation you got going on?
I think I'm going to commit myself to getting this thing because Leo told me to get it.
Okay. All right. Oh, that sounds like a move, the way you're wording
That's
it.
my game face move.
Your game face. What's that do?
I take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of the goal.
All right, then roll
And I
unleash.
take a condition.
Of course you do. So take a condition and wait. Roll first, but take a condition. Do your roll, but
What?
you need to unleash your powers to teleport down close to this thing.
Yeah, I know. I feel really bad about this.
You feel really good about this? All right.
I feel really bad about this.
You feel bad about this? Oh, you feel. All right.
I feel really bad about this.
Dude. Good.
Mark XP.
Oh my God. That's with the +1?
That is with the +1.
Oh, lordy.
I did swap my mundane and my freak.
Oh, right. You have a -2.
Mm-hmm.
Whoosh. Yikes. All right. So.
You can probably leave me just waiting for a minute while you figure what happens with that one.
We might actually process that next session because it's only 10 minutes out. I'll say this, and it's not good news. You absolutely go exactly where you intend to go.
Thank you, Doyce.
It didn't animate the GIF. That water's supposed to warble along a little bit. That's all right.
There is no animation on the
Yeah.
on the game table.
I'll find one at some point in time. I'll find one that warbles for next time. All right. So, yeah. So he teleports away. Okay, I'll tell you what, as a present to you, Adam, I will diffuse your 6- somewhat by spreading it out a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
It's just your -6 karma is mostly going to fall on you, but some of it will fall nearby.
On the Vyortovians.
No. Let me think about that for a second. No. When
Not librarian Tim.
not like that would be unnecessarily harsh. No, when the troop leader hits the ground in the middle of the field. Wait for it.
It's like all my birthdays came at once.
Now we're going to have to wait, probably, because we have 2 moments of truth that I really need to give proper attention to.
And as we discussed, I'm not going to open with that here, especially with that character. But you can be sure that it's in the pipe.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some. I have questions where if there's like how much you can, there's still certain like barriers that need to be got down for stuff. But anyway, yes.
Here is the whole barrier there.
Yep.
They merely the player, when they're in the moment of truth, merely just says what their character is doing.
Yeah, generally speaking, that's considered to be success. That doesn't mean that other stuff isn't happening, as we've demonstrated with Jason.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, I get a whole week to think about it. So yeah, she doesn't use rocket boots. She just drops out of the carrier and lands.
Does she do that? 3-point?
No.
Hero land? Okay.
No.
No superhero landing.
No superhero landing. It's really hard on your knees. No, she just drops and kind of lands in sort of a half crouch and then stands back up. Like just straight. Doesn't even stand back up. Straightens. And she's not looking at you guys. She's looking at the building. She hasn't even bothered looking your way. She has troops for that. We're going to wrap up with Jason, so we're going to Charlotte. Do you I mean, I have some imagery in mind, but if you've got a way that you want this to go down, this is your moment, so do whatever you want to do as far as that goes.
Oh no, I think that this is this is karmic balance.
Okay.
In my own way, wanting to restore a little bit of the sunshine and potential in this world, in this area, by letting the aggrieved dead cleanse.
The aggrieved dead.
That's a great line.
That is a great line. I love that. So,
and not only are we kicking some Vyortovian hiney.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? This is like the Vyortovian hill people. It's like it's like Vyortovian Kentucky.
Yeah, certainly a rougher handled group. But when they cross that barrier, there's nothing but whoops and hollers of victory as they cross through this barrier, and nothing happens to them. And they're hollering, and they're
they'll be hollering.
They're hollering, and they're firing, and they're just like there's nothing but victory.
Firing too.
And then as they and you see the shot over them.
I refer you back to the link that James kindly put upon, or that.
Where was that?
The video.
Oh, right.
The video that James linked to back there. Yeah, they're all thinking, they're all like, I got this. I'm the big man on camp it on my forklift. I
Jesus.
I got
So
I got the biggest ship. I'm gonna go nuke you.
the shot is past
Sorry.
them over the back of the thing towards the city, and they're
Yep.
like, "Yeah," the thing, and then the shot you see this picture of like sort of slack-jawed disbelief on their faces, and the next frame is back at the city, and over the entire city stands Charlotte. And she looks extremely disapproving. And this anger in her eyes, that eyes out of the clouds kind of thing, and lightning and so forth. And the spirits of the aggrieved dead, your living loved ones, lie in great peril at the hands of those that once slew you. Come with me and strike them down, and
vengeance shall be yours.
oh, I like that. Even better. Of course I like it. It's your stuff. So, and then you kind of fade away, and they're like, "Oh, it was just and they get about that far into assuring themselves that was just some sort of scare tactic when they start to see what's boiling over the battlements their direction. And the leader in the back that we're going to get about 2 shots of is like, "Turn around." What? Turn around! Turn around! And yeah. And then it suddenly goes swarming over the Oliphants. Yeah. It still only counts as 1. Anyway, now.
And when it's done, the clouds part.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
And the sun is shining. For the first time, it's still, the light's not quite right, but it's brighter than it has been for a really long time, which is going to warm a lot of people up to you, but there's still going to be some other people that just kind of saw what just happened and said, that is some of them are going, "You should keep them around. They're very useful in the fight." There's other people who saw their loved ones go by screaming bloody murder and go tear apart some living people to, death and then disappear.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I'm not doing it for the living.
No, this is definitely actually a great way. Some of the reason it's brighter is some of the dead have been given a sense of rest, which is great. You're not doing it for the living. That is so good. My God, that is so good for you. Bravo. I love it. All right. And now to a place where there is no sun shining.
Ain't no sunshine when she's
There
gone.
was only the actinic. There's only the actinic blue light of the
throbbing Keenum.
Throbbing Keenum.
No.
And Byron and Achilles hanging, struggling in judgment before 2 very, very angry people.
We have a few words we'd like to say.
Now, I want to remind you that some of this is you not being in control of your power. So I'm going to ask some pretty hard questions a little bit. By all means, read them the riot act first. Have your say as you bring this thing fully under your control, the situation fully under your control, before it goes horribly out of your control.
Before I completely lose it, yes.
Yeah.
I look over at Alycia, give her a quick nod and then look back at them. You have not just done us wrong, but you've both failed both of these worlds in so many ways, and I'm only beginning to kind of realize it and count it and tally it up. But with all of your amazing talents and the things you can do, it all devolves into, fighting in a rubble-strewn city, knocking out generators and going pew-pew at each other. This is what the great Achilles Chin and Byron Quill are all freaking about?
Alycia adds, the only thing I can't believe is that it took us this long to notice. But then again, you're the reason it took us this long to notice, aren't you? How long have you known that that's all you are? You honestly can't. She's probably talking to both
Ooh,
of them.
that's a great line.
That is a good line. I'm happy that she thought of it because I didn't. You're right. I just replayed it in my head. That was a pretty good line. I mean, I don't imagine you're actually letting them get a word in edgewise. This is.
Well, so I'm assuming that any words that they actually want can't get quite the breath for because of
yeah.
Alicia's hands reaching around their necks.
And if they do, I mean, they get out a word or two, one or the other view, and you're honestly having a little bit of trouble telling which is which at this point in time. What are the obvious? Like, this isn't. This isn't
a debate. This isn't a lecture. This isn't you telling us the way it is.
This is judgment.
This is us telling. This is our judgment of you.
So, this is the hard question. Because of the lost powers and the rage in here and the boiling, honestly, what works out to not quite a decade, but 7 years of lies and abuse of authority, if not actual abuse, and possibly both, probably both, in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
What do you take away from them?
What do I take away from?
That you're going to remember that you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you are going to take something away from them that you're not going to enjoy remembering later.
I missed the last two words you said.
Oh,
but I think I got the gist.
You are going to take something away from them that you are going to remember, not going to be able to forget later. That is going to be unpleasant.
One of those remembers, yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely justified, and in no way, shape, or form will this be something that you're proud of. And I would not, to be perfectly clear, I would not force you into nastiness except for the fact that it was, the 4 or whatever previously. Previously on Jason Loses His Shit.
Well, in an ideal world, I know exactly what Jason would have driven towards in this conversation, which would have been, you know what? I want you to get back to where you were when you first arrived here and try to make this world better together. And you are stuck here and you're stuck with each other. But I'm not gonna be able to do that because that's not gonna be enough for this moment, the way it's been rolled and the way Jason's feeling right now.
Not unless there's some sort of like vicious monkeys curse kind of. That's not the right phrase, but not unless there's some sort of nasty sort of Geas compulsion thing on the whole thing, like whatever happens to one happens to the other kind of.
Well, I mean,
deal.
The way things are right now, and with thoughts in the air, I could probably like shove their consciences in the same body and let them deal with that for the rest of their lives. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You guys, because you know what, they don't deserve that chance. That's the level of anger that Jason's at right now. So
you could psychically link them forever. That'd be a.
No, I am just going to. You guys were given tremendous gifts. Gifts that you passed on to us. And then you kept us from using them, and you didn't use them yourselves for the betterment of humanity. So I'm going to take those away from you.
I'm like sitting here in my chair with my eyes closed and this look of like horrified contentment.
Is that like the Aggrieved Dead? Only
It's like
yeah.
the Aggrieved Dead. That's now okay. Just for the record, that's the name of this. That's the name of this session. The Aggrieved Dead and Horrified Contentment, or the horrified content. The horrified.
Of the aggrieved.
The horrified contentment of the Aggrieved Dead. Oh, that's really good, actually.
So I don't know exactly what that looks like aside from narrating it, but
doesn't-
I would say something like, I'm going to do the equivalent of,
You're gonna.
Rising them?
well, yeah, essentially lobotomizing their super geniuses in some fashion.
You're gonna depower them.
I'm going to depower
for
them.
all intents and purposes. We don't
Yep.
need to know how the science works because, first of all,
There's a keynome in the room, so
There's a. Oh, yes. You rewrite them. The bots go into them around the keynome in a surgical sense. Around the keynome, there are links. There are young Jasons, there are young Alycias, all working in. It's a room full of Jasons and Alycias. Every possibility that you can easily imagine expressed, different iterations, different possible ways things could have turned out. Alycia in a super suit, covered in nanobots and working at, to maintain the network around the keynome, and the old ones, the younger ones, here we go. There you go. Pull that down. There we go.
nice. Crap, sorry. I was trying to grab that for something else, and I just drew a big red line over it.
It's fine. All these various, just all an artist was just told, draw every possible version of Jason Quill from Byron Quill's age back down to when he was 10, and the same thing for Alycia. Fill the room up with them and have them all working on stuff to do this to these two. And
I'm gonna decline.
Yeah, no. I mean, whatever poor sodding comic book artists we put to work on this thing.
George Perez gets a big smile on his face.
He goes, yes.
It'll be 6 months, but it will be beautiful.
It will take me 6 months to do the book, to do this page, but it will be beautiful.
Yep.
Anyway, and yeah, you set them on the task of this impossible task of redoing this world and doing it as people instead of whatever they imagined that they were. And in the process, you get rid of some compulsions that have been looking around in the back of their head that have been messing with them. But not nearly as many as you would have liked to have believed that there were. The only compulsions that you can find are the ones that say leave Alycia alone and don't look too closely at her backpack.
Sorry, say what?
The only compulsions that you can easily find are the ones that say basically ignore Alycia and don't pay any attention to her backpack. There isn't nearly enough. Now there are a lot more on Chin, but it all had to do with the simple, like making sure that the plan stayed simple and that he did what he was supposed to do. But there are not. This is just them.
It's mostly them. They got nudges, not.
Yeah, they didn't need help. They didn't need help to have blinders on.
Yeah. It's our own little Bill and Loci. Okay.
Okay. So, that happened. Does anybody have anything else that they want to add on to make sure that we get it framed up in this scene, session, whatever?
I just wanted you to know that I added some pics to the Discord side. You know,
Oh,
the links.
the disc. Okay, I haven't
Yeah,
looked.
I was just looking at those.
Discard's usually on the and they have 22% of a plan. Oh, Harry, you put up Some Would Call Me Tim. I was waiting for somebody to do that.
Well, it came up quite a bit ago.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Discord can't. I mean, I only have 2 screens, and you can't imagine how many windows I have open at any given time. It's crazy.
So there's going to need to be obviously some further conversation, tailing out of this. But for the moment,
yeah, this can be summed up. Yeah. There's obviously a lot more to be done there, but actually, it could very easily. It could very easily be. The next session might start with, guys, if you're not busy saving the world over there, you could get your asses back over here and save the world over here. But we'll see. There's a lot of different ways that could go. You could also, somebody else might have the spotlight. I don't know. 2 moments of truth. 1 session. I'll take it. And
an army of undead.
Yeah, an army of undead. Margie, I'll need you to check off the appropriate checkboxes, make sure that you get that advance written in there, lock down your stuff, all that kind of happiness.
Can I move my attributes before I lock?
No, that happens at the end of the thing.
I'm actually more balanced than I normally am, but no, I think Savior is the right one to lock right now.
Okay, very cool. So check.
That's kind of a Savior move.
All right. Yes, I think so. Well, yeah, you could do danger, but you wouldn't want to lock your danger.
It would be well, or freak. I mean, but
yeah, certainly freak. But I don't know.
Is this sort of more?
I don't know how high your freak.
No, I like it better. I like it better as this.
You're giving them some hope. That's really, really good. Okay, everyone else is being really quiet. Is everyone cool? Did we have a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, are we good? Okay.
I think you managed to keep the stakes up in all the different
scenes.
Did I? So, yeah.
I couldn't quite get all 3 of the ridiculously uber scenes done all in 1 session, but I gave it my damnedest. So we're just gonna have to fight the Dread Queen next time. Bummer. Okay, and also figure out what the hell just happened to Adam.
I'm just gonna ask Doyce, whatever it takes, conspire to have everyone back here in time for that fight, please. Whatever you need to do.
I believe I can make that happen. I think that would be awesome. I would agree. We've been apart for 2 sessions, 2-ish sessions, or maybe 3, and that's enough. It's time to get everybody back in the same zip code. So we might do, actually, I'll just parenthetically note, Dave, I know this will be a hardship for Marjorie, but we'll try to keep it to a bare minimum. We might have to do a little bit of wrapping up and summary offline so that we can
of course
be ready to go for the next session and get things going. The Vyortovians can still do a tremendous amount of damage on their side, although the massive plan that they have planned is not going to work, but there's still a tremendous amount that they can accomplish here left to their own devices, so it's still a bad deal.
And their devices are freaking huge too, so
there is also that. They're bringing out the big ship.
Can we leave them to our devices? Because ours are a lot smaller.
I have been carrying around that Vyortovian carrier for a while now, but I have had that picture of Alycia in the super suit since I think session 2. Maybe
wow.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
It's been around for a while. But, bring it out while George Perez is drawing that ridiculous scene. All right. So, Dave, did you grow more in... Okay, now, just to sum up, Dave, you have 4 checkboxes left between now and you just die, right?
Actually, I do need to check off... yes, but now I have infinite powers, which I can use by invoking Doom. Yay me! I am such an incredibly powerful character. I'm dying prematurely.
Makes me want to play Don't Rest Your Head, because that's exactly how it works out there too. And you didn't get any potential, did you, at any point in there?
I don't think I got any potential since I had no one there to comfort me. And
What did you roll though?
Didn't you
He
roll
rolled
a
a 10.
4?
He rolled a 10 on his take
Oh,
a
that's
powerful
right.
blow.
Yeah, he took a powerful blow. So that was actually, yeah, that wasn't an XP kind of a thing. So yeah, he didn't have a XP shot.
yeah,
I said 6 minus, but it was actually a 10 plus on take a powerful blow. That was the thing that happened. Okay.
and I'm not. I cannot, in all good judgment, claim that I grew closer to the team in any fashion in this particular episode.
I think I would go for grew into your own image of yourself, but
I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm just
You're-
gonna have to figure. And I also have to lock an attribute since I did the moment of.
now, yeah, lock first, then shift stuff because the lock should happen. When it happens, but yeah, that is true. So yeah, grow into your own image. So shift as you will, and lock that thing, and which is fine because you've had a long time waiting on that to happen anyway. Charlotte,
Hi.
you grow into your own image of yourself.
Yeah, I think that you kind of have to take that when you unlock your moment of truth, don't you think? It's like required.
I'm pretty sure Concord did. So yeah, shift a label up, one label down. You've already locked one of the things, so shift accordingly. Concord.
We're gonna go closer to the team. And I picked Harry last time, so we'll go with Link. We'll just
Okay.
ping pong there for a little bit.
All right.
I've got influence.
Yeah.
Or do you
So
want
go
to
ahead.
you don't want to give influence to Facet? It was a joke. I swear it was a joke. Don't take me seriously. It's like that line from Young Justice. Anybody else want to confess that they're, one of their dark secrets? Yeah, I do. I swear to God, I was joking. Such a good line. Incidentally, and this is not a spoiler, but the Janus contract thing, the Flash is in it for a hot second, but they got the
Judas
same
contract.
what did I say? Janus contract? Judas contract.
Yeah.
They get Flash to do the voice. He actually does a couple of voices. The voice actor does in the show, but he does the Flash. The guy who does Kid Flash in Young Justice does the Flash, or really Kid Flash.
I was gonna say you were saying the guy who does the Flash voice. Okay, that could be like.
They
three
got
people.
yeah.
I think
So
it's
they
off the
got
top of my head.
they got the Kid Flash voice actor over to do Kid Flash. They got the Red Arrow voice actor over to do Speedy for a hot second. And I'm almost sure that there was another one from the Young Justice, like kids that shows up as one of the other. I think actually there's a very good chance that the guy they got to voice Garth is the same voice actor as well that they did for Garth from second season of Young Justice. Although this Garth is the star. He's the star playbook. He's Garth. He's Garth from the comic books, who instead of having a reality show has 1 million followers on Twitter. So he is totally the star. It's awesome. Anyway, but so without giving away any plot, the voice acting talent is quite good. Concord, what did you end up going with? Closer to? Oh, you said. I'm sorry. You said closer to Harry.
Link.
Closer to Link. All right.
Because I did Harry last game.
So clear condition or getting potential for that?
I think I'm gonna check potential, and I'm gonna need to talk to you about stuff.
Stuff. Okay.
Stuff.
This would be a really interesting. Oh my God, dude, are you gonna go Nova while you're down there with the Kenome?
Well, that's part of what I want to talk to you about.
Oh my God.
Because I have thoughts and reasons for all sorts of stuff.
I have thoughts. I've got thoughts.
So if you got like 5 minutes after we wrap up.
Sure. One of my players, I'm not going to say who it was, but their name rhymes with thrill, pointed out that unlike Dungeon World, where you play to find out what happens, this game is about playing to find out what changes. A lot of stuff is going to change here in this session and next session. I have this sneaking suspicion. Anyway, So thank you, Bill, for reminding me of that. Because that's a good reminder. All right, yeah, we can talk afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we are kids. Everything changes.
Yep. Harry.
In season 2, everything changes.
Harry, who I think. No, you rolled it. You got to defend A10 and got influence on A10, so that's good. Although I would say that you probably drew the attention short straw, so I have to fix that next session.
I don't know that that's a good
Oh
thing.
boy! Hey, for the big battle with the Dread Queen, you get more attention.
You're
Go,
welcome.
Harry, go!
Well, Harry did a number on those Rossum robots,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
is
That's true.
good news for Link. He's like, yeah, more of that, please.
I like how that was rolled into the defend though. You just subtract. I need them over here, and it's also keeping A10 from getting hurt, so I'm just gonna keep subtracting them out of it. No, it was. I love the scene. I just didn't get as much screen time. Yeah, more attention while you guys are fighting the Dread Queen. All I have to say to that is you are welcome. Do you grow closer to the team, farther away, or more into your own image of yourself?
Notice if you didn't see, James is having trouble with his mic.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry.
He literally said, bring this to your attention, so I'm doing
It's
it.
in the roll.
Oh, I see. I was wondering why the thing suddenly moved. Is it having trouble getting the mic to work when it type responses? Closer to the team. A10. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yes. I'm going to say yes. We've been playing a little bit loose with giving. We probably want to go back a little bit, but there's been a lot of important NPCs, and I want to make sure that we're honoring that by making sure that if they deserve influence, they get influence. And if you give influence to somebody who already has influence within the team, your labels get shifted, which can sometimes be a downside. There can certainly sometimes be downsides to giving NPCs influence, and if you don't think I'm not going to use that, you don't even know me. So, yeah, I'm perfectly happy with 18 having influence over you, Harry. Why do you ask? Marking potential. Sounds good. And yes, concern. We need a concern. Okay, Mike. We need a concerned Harry. Oh, good. Level up for Mercury.
That's in the books.
Yeah. Okay. That's a level up for Mercury. Very cool. And
I was supposed to say, there was all that great stuff that Mike sketched out for kind of the menagerie default screen. I think actually it needs to be a series of concern icons, one for each character.
All of them looking terribly, terribly concerned. Link does not look concerned. Numa's behind him looking concerned.
No, you can't tell when Link looks concerned.
He just continues to frown.
It's those 5 out of the 6 helmet pictures that Mike did.
Those are all concern helmets. We just came. I love the fact that I just came up with the phrase "concern helmets." Okay, and who's left? Link.
I'm about to square up against an entire sovereign nation. I'm going into the image of myself, and I think Superior needs to go up because damn. Yeah. Savior will go down.
Savior will go down. Superior will go up. Your danger is already currently maxed. Yes, is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it to 4.
Can you?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, currently tapped out. Yeah, that's the thing. It's fun with bowls. Is like if your danger gets moved down, but if you can stay in a fight for even a little while.
No, here's the best part. Mundane's already lost because I took an advance. Moment of Truth is coming in real fast. Superior is probably going to be the second label that gets locked, and then Danger will kind of fluctuate, and then Savior and Freak are in the toilet.
That's fine.
So that's who Link is.
That's who Link is. It works out. I love it.
I will note that I don't know that we've ever had an end of game session where we've had 3 of the 5 growing into image of self.
No. We had one session where only one person had to. We had a couple people who gave influence, but because of the way the influence was lying at the time, only one person got their label shifted by the person they gave influence to. That was only one time, and this time we only had one person who gave influence, and Leo already had it, so that yeah, Concord got his label shifted by Leo.
Harry gave influence, and Concord gave influence.
Yeah, but Harry gave influence to an NPC, so they're usually it's pointed at different characters and stuff like that.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So this was probably the least amount of intra-party. I was about to be made a liar of because I said in that one thread that I had shared that we have never had a session where influence wasn't shared, and as a result, a label got shifted because they already had influence, and we never have, but we damn near did tonight. So.
Sorry to break the chain.
No, it's okay. You didn't because you gave it to Leo, and Leo would have shifted. I'm sure Leo already had influence on you. Yes. Did he?
He did.
Yeah. So you didn't break the chain. It's all good.
Also, I mentioned this to Bill earlier. Link is trying to get all of the teen hero influence. I'm getting all of the villain influence. I got 2.5 right now.
Which is funny actually, because when Leo first started rolling on this, like early on, he had this. I mean, one of his plans was reaching out to and trying to, break down the barriers on the villains and getting them to talk to us and stuff like that. And
that was predicated on downtime, of which we have none. So
yes, that was predicated on downtime. We have had, I think, something like, I don't remember the timeline, but it's been something like 4 weeks maybe total in 26 sessions. Some of that
was always a couple of weeks off there at over the holidays.
Right, that it's 4 weeks with me skipping forward 2 weeks. You don't understand. The actual game time has been like a total of like 6 days, I think, of actual time that all the action of it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there hasn't been a lot of downtime, but I like the idea that although this was a goal of one person, eventually the group does end up owning that to a certain extent by somebody, which is.
And if you ask Leo, he would not even care who does it, just that it's done.
Exactly.
So if Concord picks up this particular standard, Leo will totally support it.
Yeah, and it's a great way to lower your guard when you got being approached by a 12-year-old. Well, it doesn't look like a 12-year-old, but anyway. All right, guys, awesome, so much fun, and hopefully another one next session and. All that craziness. It is very late. I'm sure somebody has school tomorrow. And if not, I do. So, or work or, whatever. As birthdays go, this was a pretty good one for me. So thank you guys very much. It was a great, great night. So thanks very much.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
You are welcome. Or thank you. Wait, no. Yes, thank you. Something like that. Whatever. It's late. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Sleep well.
So Joyce, I'm going to put one more image on Discord for you.
Okay, I'm ready. Nice. Oh, that's too good. We're gonna.
The scale.
Are you growing to the? Is that the image you're growing into?
Love it.